The opening weekend of the July internationals had everything. Chaos, surprises, missed chances, and a few cold hard truths. Whether you're a top tier giant or a rising hopeful in World Rugby, no team got through untouched. Weekend 1 exposed cracks, offered glimpses of brilliance, and left coaches scrambling for some answers that perhaps they didn't think they had the questions. So let's get right into it. Australia were very lucky. That 21-18 win over Fiji, papering over some serious problems. They were poor at the breakdown, their attack lost all shape after the first few phases, and they missed 29 tackles. That's not going to cut it against the Lions. The scrum held up fine, but the line-out, a bit of a mess for the Wallabies. They snuck home thanks to a late controversial try by Harry Wilson, but if this is their level, the next few weeks could get very ugly for the Wallabies. On to Fiji. Plenty to be encouraged about from the Fijians. They tore Australia up early with width and speed, but once it became a grind, they ran out of options. The scrum was second best all day, and defensively, they were caught narrow around the ruck. Fix that, and they're a threat to anyone. Big tests are coming up for the Fijians this weekend against Scotland, who were red hot against the Maori All Blacks. Argentina were well off it. That wasn't the team that beat the Lions in Dublin. They couldn't match England's physicality. They lost the gain line battle and their attack never got going. Once England shut down the middle, they collapsed. For years now, Argentina's problem has been consistency. One week, they are world beaters. The next, they can't string phases together. That hasn't changed as of yet under Felipe Contempomi. England, on the other hand, just keep building. A slow, gritty first half, but total control after the break. George Ford pulled the strings, Tom Willis and the pack dominated, and the young guys getting a shot with the Lions away, well, they absolutely took it with both hands. England's depth looks real, and the structure under Steve Borthwick is starting to hum after what was a shaky start. Japan pulled off one of the biggest results of the weekend. Down at halftime to Wales, who looked set to break their losing record, they came back to win 24-19. Warner Dearns was immense, dominant at the line-out, physical in the carry, and dangerous in open play. Eddie Jones has something here. Still raw, still rough around the edges, but this was a statement win for Jones early in his second tenure with Japan. On to Wales. That has to be rock bottom. Make no bones about it. 18 straight losses, no leadership, no punch, no control. They looked lost, and now they've dropped to 14th in the world rankings. The rebuild is real and it's going to be long. Right now, there are maybe 6 players in that squad who look like they belong at test level, which just is not going to cut it. In Dunedin, the All Blacks just about held off France, winning 31-27, but it was messy. The combinations didn't quite click for the All Blacks. The backline lacked cohesion outside of Will Jordan and Geordie Barrett. Scott Barrett looked well off the pace in the pack. Artie Sevilla was a monster as always, but overall this team just looked a bit disjointed. Robertson has some decisions to make. Stick with this group or shuffle his deck for the second test. France will feel hard done by in this one. They missed too many tackles and didn't have enough possession to really trouble the All Blacks in the later stages of this match, but they showed some serious problems. Gileton, Atasongbe and Giard, they all stood up and had some control and better ball retention, and they've got real firepower to beat anyone, even without all of their first string players who didn't go on the tour. On to South Africa, who got the win over Italy, but the second half was rough for the Boks. Up 28-3 at halftime, they took their foot off the gas and got outplayed by a young Italian side. The bomb squad fizzled, the line-out faltered, and Italy exposed some cracks in the box that we hadn't seen before. Rassi was furious and has already made massive changes to his side for the second test. Over to Ireland, who were clinical in Tbilisi despite missing 16 Lions and a handful of senior names. Ryan Baird ran the line out massively well. Gavin Coombs made hard yards. Nick Timoney bossed the breakdown. Craig Casey looked like a real leader, and Tommy O'Brien made a serious case for a bigger role in the squad. Georgia, they just never showed up. A massive opportunity missed for them, and one that won't help their case for inclusion in the Six Nations. But for Ireland, it is massively positive to see how deep their squad is now. The USA opened their summer with a solid 36-12 win over Belgium. dominant in the tight exchanges with 6 tries, all forwards or from the centres. Bonasso led from the front, Lepetti carried really well, and a set piece was very strong for Scott Lawrence's side. But defensively, 22 missed tackles and some soft backfield coverage are concerns and work-ons for them. Against Spain next week and England after that, they'll need to be far more clinical, especially in the red zone, where they left plenty of points behind after their dominance, in which they spent 40% of their possession in the Belgian 22. Elsewhere, Chile made history beating Romania 40-16 and cracking the world's top 20 for the first time. The UAE continued their incredible rise. They're now up to 40th after beating Sri Lanka. So the global game is changing and quickly, so it's great to see those emerging nations doing so well. And speaking of what's next, US rugby fans, this weekend's action is absolutely stacked and you can catch it all live and exclusively on FloRugby. That includes the All Blacks versus France, the rematch after the thriller in Dunedin, South Africa versus Italy. Will the Boks bounce back with a statement win? Argentina versus England, a physical battle with major ranking implications on the line for both sides. And then we've got the Black Ferns versus the Wallaroos, one of the best rivalries in women's rugby today. That's all live July 12th only on FloRugby, so check out our subscription packages for that. Back to the world rankings, South Africa holds on to the top spot, but New Zealand are closing in. Ireland and France stay steady in 3rd and 4th. England leap over Argentina into 5th, whilst Wales continue their fall as we touched upon. Japan rise, and for the first time Chile are officially in the top 20. So those are the headlines. 1 week down, no shortage of storylines, and the best part, we're only getting started. So if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave us a comment about what you think was the biggest rugby moment from last weekend. Is Scott Robertson getting the job done with the All Blacks, or does he need to relook at his squad? With Rassie's changes, do you think the Boks will get that reaction that they're after? And what did you make of Ireland's incredible depth of the young players coming through? So thanks again for checking out the video. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button.